Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to CPR's Clubhouse Live. My name is CPR Jose Ortiz, and we are here to celebrate 2022 with CPR's Clubhouse Live, the CPR's Clubhouse crew, and the top 10 freestyle songs of 2022, our personal favorites. Let me introduce our panel today. Of course, we have the legendary DJ Cliff Potts, the vinyl assassin. Also on this panel, we have our Duchess, Cheryl Rodriguez, and our very special guest, panelist, Mr. Willie Valentin, Artistic Records himself. Willie, was it hard for you to come up with your list?
Yeah, it was. It actually was. I actually finished it maybe about an hour ago, and I kept changing the order.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm number one.
Just the fact, yeah, it's funny. Just the fact that that we put these songs on our list, it shows the impact that they had on us in 2022. So again, these are our personal favorites. It's not gonna affect the CPR's top 40 freestyle songs of 2022. That's being calculated as we speak. As a matter of fact, we're doing the third part this week. And we don't know what's going to be number 20 to 11 because I haven't done that calculation yet. That's the next business day. So we're just here to celebrate our music. Cliff, we have had this discussion before, and I'm going to ask you this question as well. What do you think of 2022 here at the end of the year as a whole?
Better than the last couple prior years. I will say that, when I was doing the top 10 and I thought about 2021, beginning of, probably halfway through the second quarter, I know we had a conversation and we were struggling. It was hard to just pick top 10 songs.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of the reverse. It's still hard, but there were a lot of good songs to put in the top 10. So, so bravo to Freestyle because they have picked up the pace on the quality of the releases.
Yeah,
hard to pick.
For every good release, you had a couple of bad ones, but we try to weed out all the bad stuff. But I'm glad that it picked up at the end of the year, like people were racing to do projects. Cheryl, let me get your take on 2022. What are your feelings?
I completely agree. In fact, this was torture for me, and I haven't felt like this in the last several years of counting our top 10 because I have gone back and forth so many times, so many songs that even now I'm going to stick with what I got, but I wish I could have gotten in there. I could have easily went through a top 15. Nice. I was very happily surprised, especially more towards the end of the year, but rounding it all out, it was wonderful.
What about you, Willie? Was it hard for you? I know that you just finished briefly an hour ago.
It was because, you enjoy a lot of the music, but then when you have to pick your favorite, and for me, I think I don't think we're going to match as far as our countdown because I think I look at it more the beat, the music, the melody, and then the lyrics. So right. That's where, but I'll elaborate when I go down this countdown, but I'm excited to see what you guys pick and see what.
Before we get started, everybody gets to talk about their honorable mentions. Does anybody here want to start with their honorable mentions? I'm going to start with Cheryl. Do you have any?
I do. I have a tie actually, because and honorable mentions are granted, they didn't make my top 10.
There's no ties in freestyle.
There is a tie. My honorable mention, first and foremost, would be Nora Evell. She did not make my top 10 as far as personal favorite songs. But man, if there was an 11, she would be right there because she impressed the heck out of me. I really love the song, and I think she should be recognized for what she did.
I swear your list better be really good.
It's wonderful.
Or you're fired.
Oh, so my other one would be Milo Sean with "We Will Be." Dude really impressed me. I loved the song. Really just was like stuck on it for a long time. And again, he didn't make my top 10, but he's right there. So my two people I'd like to mention.
Willie, do you have an honorable mention for 2022?
No, I'm just kidding. You guys might be shocked, but it kind of ruins my top 10. But for me, it was the Brenda K. Star. Didn't meet the top 10. And for the reason for that, what I said earlier, I wasn't crazy about the music. I think she sounded great. I love the song, but the music just didn't do it for me. Just wasn't hardcore, not hardcore, hard hitting freestyle that I like to listen to. But vocally, she killed it.
I love that. I will talk about that during this process. What about you, Cliff?
Yeah, my honorable mention, or number 11, as I call it, it's Take Me Away, Chrissy Ice.
Wow. That made my top 10. I'm surprised it didn't make yours.
It was really close. Going back to the 10 this year, man, it was hard. And I really enjoy the Chris. She could swap out with my number 10 easy. You know, those two are right there. But I just made my game time decision and said, all right, this is it. So yeah, she's my 11.
Willie's crossing his arms. I don't know what's going on here, but he might be getting serious for a moment. But for me, I thought about like Billy Ray, the comeback of 2022, coming back to our music. I thought about where he would be on the top 10. He didn't make mine, but he is an honorable mention. I thought it was exciting for freestyle. It was exciting for a month, maybe 2 months. You know what I mean? But you know, I want to make sure that people remember that Billy Ray came back in 2022. And we've had many comebacks this year as well. And as we discuss it on this panel, some of the best comebacks of this year, my favorite comeback of 2022 is Deneen. I think that, you know, the stuff that she's done this year is truly amazing, but we also can remember that Elisa, the Queen of Canadian Freestyle, came back. Brandon came back this year. So there were many comebacks, people that had not recorded our music for a long time and have come back to do it. Milo Sean being another. You know, he was featured on Carlos Berrios under another name on the Don't Look Back series, Miles Petty. And so, you know, we're trying to just remember all the comebacks, all the people that did a great job this year of trying to bring the music forward and put out quality.
Joe Zangi too, I think. Right?
Yeah, Joe Zangi came out with a song. I mean, he's been around. It's not like he came back. He's been in the scene. He's been running around with Raquel, and you know, he's been, you know, booked on Fever shows. So I didn't consider him a comeback. Let's start with our top 10, and I'm going to have ladies first. Duchess, go ahead. Who's your number 10?
Billy Ray, my one and only.
Nice. See, we were talking about comebacks. And so
I was always a fan, and it was so when he, sorry, I didn't mean since I just, yes, because I was always a fan, and I guess maybe a little biased here in New England, but I've always loved him. And when he came out with that, I was really excited, and right away, I just loved the song, and still have it. I play it in the car all the time. So he definitely made my number 10.
Yeah. So Billy Ray returned in 2022, and 3 to the Max are returning in 2023. So if you're from New England, that is something that is good news, because those are the top tier artists from our area that we celebrated. You know, our version of George Lamont, our version of TKA. You know, and there was always that comparison. Willie Valentin, who's your number 10?
My number 10 is who you call the comeback kid. He's for Cheryl, Joe Zangi. Love You Like Wow. That was, to be honest with you, one of the records that came out this year that made me like, oh, there's some good new music coming out. Not saying that everything was bad, but this one really grabbed me. It wasn't a typical freestyle record, but I liked it. It just grabbed me. I like pop. It had that pop feel to it, and I think that was his best vocal performance since in his whole career. So great job on that, and yeah, he was my number 10.
The video is not bad either. Check it out on YouTube.
I saw it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And you know, he didn't make my list, but he was another honorable mention of mine, Joe Zangi. Cliff Potts, who do you have at number 10?
My number 10 is Poison by Eric Christian.
Wow. We're going to be very, very much apart on a lot of these songs.
Yes,
But I think that was Eric Christian's best vocal of all time.
Agreed.
And the production too. I loved the music in my ears. If you listen to that lossless sound on Apple Music, and you have headphones on, it just traveling from one ear to the other. Very well done. The video was a little bit to be desired for, but the video was good. The videography was great, but I have my opinion on the video, which we'll not discuss. But that's a great choice. Number 10 for me was C-Bank's Heaven. Brenda can't do any wrong. I love C-Bank. She sounds amazing in my ears. Again, we talk about Carlos Berrios, the mix down, the beat, the wording, the production. It was a full package for me. So she never disappoints me. I'm a big fan of Brenda, and so she's my number 10.
Wonderful.
Let's go for round number 2. We're gonna start with DJ Cliff Potts. Who do you have for number 9?
My number 9, the NSR remix of These Eyes by Gennaro.
Nice. Those Eyes is a great song. It's a great dedication to the passing of Mikey Souls, and I love the wording. I love the production that Angel Mena made. As soon as I heard it, I'm like, that's the version I'm playing, which I got Gennaro mad because of that, but I truly loved that version. Great choice. Willie, who do you have for your number 9?
I think, well, I tell you right now, like I'm listening to everyone's number 10. So there's definitely going to be a big flip flop. I don't think we're going to have matching numbers here.
Okay, because it's your
list. Yeah, absolutely. Now, this may be a shock to a lot of people. Family, good friend of mine, but my number 9 is George Anthony, Love So Crazy. I thought it was a good record, and it definitely made the top 10. I can't wait for the remixes to come out. Not that my remix is better, but I'm just saying I can't wait for the remixes to come out. It was good. It was a good record. But
I gave it an 8, and he was like, an 8. I'm like, yeah, I was generous. Yeah, it's a good song. But I always compare it to All the Way, that peppy, that dance.
I love All the Way. Yeah,
it's just I love All the Way. So I like that's it. And if I compare it to his catalog too, is a good song. It belongs on the on this compilation or his album, his anthology. But it'll be like in the filler section.
Yeah, I mean he never disappoints. Don't get me wrong. It's not, it definitely deserves to be the top 10, and I'm sure it's going to be in the top 5 somewhere also. But yep, he made it number 9 on my list.
It's one of those songs that have legs, right? I want to explain that because people are listening to me on the radio say that the song has legs. It means that you just can't cut it off. Like there are people that do top 10s, right? A song comes out in November and by December it's number 1, and that's not possible because the song still has legs. You got to promote it for the new year. So our calendar is November to November, but I'm not going to cut the legs of a great song. And now that there's a remix coming, whereas GA versus Jay Mazur, the song has legs. Now we gotta, it has a remix. It's gonna restart again. So we have to take whatever it lands on in 2022 and 2023 and average it out. But that's what it means when the song has legs. And there are many songs coming back for 2023 because they have legs. I remember people putting the George Lamond I Believe in Love as number 1 in 2021, but I'm like, the song just came out 2 months ago. How could it be number 1 for the entire year? And people need to have that discussion.
Well, it's fresh in their mind. So especially when it's a banger, people are like, oh, this is the song of the year. So
right. And you know who pays for that? Rudy Fausto. Every year, poor guy, man. He comes out with a song in January and they forget him by February. And so I just tell Rudy, wait till the summer, brother. Summer, hot summer body, hot summer song, you know what I mean? Duchess, who do you have on your list?
C-Bank Heaven, number 9.
Perfect. Well, not perfect, Heaven, but I'm a big C-Bank fan. Cliff Potts, who do you have?
Oh, mine was Gennaro.
So everybody said the number 9 except me. For me, it was surprising because when I first heard this demo that escaped and that wasn't completed, it had a rap in it, and I completely loathed the rap because it was just repetitive, and I cracked on it forever. But I really, really love Nightingale, Give It Back My Heart, the Lost at Sea mix, because it was a rendition of Louder Than Love. And I thought that that rendition of Louder Than Love and the song together. It may not be the greatest Sapphire record of all time, but it's one of those songs that really stuck with me in 2022 that I really enjoyed. And to this day is on my top 10 list. So when I go to bed, I have a list and I play them over and over again as I sleep. But the bottom line is number 9 for me is Nightingale, Give It Back My Heart.
Yeah.
So anybody want to switch your list real quick before we continue? Are we good?
No, this is, like I said, this is interesting.
One thing that I will say about
we
the
get all
list,
3-on-1, I'll be shocked.
right? So one of the things that I will say is we're picking quality freestyle music. So it doesn't matter where it lands on our list or if it's mentioned on our list, it's quality, right? It's not like we're choosing, one of the songs that are very much questionable. And if somebody does choose something questionable because we haven't seen each other's list, I'm going to call you on it. I'm going to start with my number 8, and it's a guy that to me is the MVP of 2022, and that is Nelson Rego. Nelson Rego recorded so much music in 2022. Let me just go through the list. Lose Control, Say That You Will, okay? Just Another Day, the John Staccato remake, all right? Also, he had a song with our friends at 418 Freestyle, Even If It's Forever. And one of the songs that I really found interesting, and I wish that they kept on promoting it and made extended versions and remixes, is Into the Night. I would have asked him to name his album Into the Night. It would be Nelson Rego, Into the Night, palm trees and a dark scene in the back in Florida. I mean, I just love that song. And there's a video for it, but I thought he did a really good job on that. Peppy, poppy, catchy, like short, very, very much made for Spotify, 2.5 minute, 3-minute song. And I just wanted more of that. And by the way, Nelson Rego has an album right now, and it's out on the digital platforms, not only on CD, but on the digital platform. So I call him the MVP, but a lot of the music that he put out for 2022 kind of canceled each other out. They were hot for a month and a half, and then here comes another one. So, and then, the CD wasn't released, to the public for the most part, and then it was released digitally at the end of the year. So, I wish that they would have given it more light, because it is a good, solid album. I've been listening to it all day myself. There's even that song that I banned from my radio show that he redid over again. And I would play it now because it was remade very well. It's something that we're gonna have to revisit for 2023. Maybe there's a song in there that we can promote for Nelson Rego from the album. Also, he released another song this month, which is Surrender to Me, which I am the executive producer of, and nobody's supposed to know that because then nobody will buy it. But he
on the sales.
Yeah, I know. Now he's gonna get to he's gonna get to 99 sales, and it won't get to 100 because of me. But Surrender to Me, he asked me my advice, like what should I do? And I just said, I sent him a record, and it was George Lamond, Without You. And I said, listen to the extended version and think about doing a modern version of it. And we got Surrender to Me. But Nelson Rego, MVP of 2022 for me. What do you have, Willie, for number 8?
Well, your answer is pretty long, so I forgot mine.
Okay, great. I'm surprised you guys are not sleeping or just a skeleton like Airplane.
So my number 8 was tough to make this choice because it's going to seem biased, but I picked my record, Love of My Life. And what the funny thing is, these 10 songs on my top 10 for this year, I have a playlist on my Spotify. These are all my playlists. And it's funny, I posted a picture the other day of my Spotify, whatever, year in review, and it had me as I listen to myself the most. But it's not that, because when you put out a record, you want to hear it sounds on Spotify. So you're at a party, people, let me hear your new record. Oh, here, you put it on Spotify. But yeah, I liked it, not because I did it, I thought it was a good record. And again, the quality and the production and
Your
I had
wife.
a special, yeah, her too. And then I had Clip Potts edit a mix. That's what twin sniffing right there. So no, again, I listened to it and I listened to it with not looking at it. This is something I did. I listened to it and I enjoy it. Not every record I've done I want to listen to. I've done a lot of records and I don't listen to. So number 8 is myself, Willie Valentin, Love of My Life, and that's the short answer. 4 minutes less than CPR.
Cynthia Figueroa is the reason why that song is amazing. You're good, but your wife comes in at the end and she just
I know how you feel. It's like when I listen to your radio station, is Cheryl, it makes the station for me.
Absolutely great. And that's the reason why she's fired. So whatever. So Cheryl, go ahead. You could go ahead with your number 8. Thanks, Willie. Thanks, pal.
My number 8.
Now it's gonna be like, I want red M&Ms in the studio, Evian water,
I'm not gonna be there when you're there.
That's
Cheryl, when are you on, Cheryl?
All right, that's why you didn't make my top 10 list. But anyways, go ahead, Cheryl.
But Gennaro made my number 8 with "Don't Talk to Me."
We won't. Have a good night.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I mean, the song "Don't Talk to Me." Why?
I love it. I love the story. I love his vocals in the song. I love his story. There's something about this song. I can listen to it over and over and over. And I mean over. Like it's on. We talk about, our lists. Well, my list is exactly that. Everything I listen to in the car. My favorite songs that I have repeatedly over the year listened to, and he is definitely one of them. Very much like the song.
Yeah, it's great when somebody can put their heart to pen and paper, and that's exactly what he did. He talked about his experience in the group Pain. So it's a story about him being in the group Pain, but then he's talking to you about don't talk to him about pain, literal pain. So it's just a great, a well-written song, just good stuff from Gennaro.
And don't know the story, you got somebody just putting on the radio and hearing the song for the first time. There's so many relatable lyrics in that song, and so many people are going to make it their own. And I think that's why even I like it as much as I do, because it's just beautiful. He did a beautiful job, as he did with Those Eyes, but that didn't make my list.
Yeah, that's 5A and 5B. I'm just kidding. Cliff Potts, go ahead.
My number 8. Willie talked about this one a little bit earlier. It's The Only One I Love, Brenda K. Starr. And the problem is, I forget where I was serviced this copy of, and I don't know what mix it was, but it hit hard. Her vocals were great. And I remember when I put it on my mix for the first time, I was like, man, I really like this. And 3 people, no lie, hit me up, say, hey, that track that starts at minute 5:46. Who was it? And I go back and it was Brenda K. Starr. And that was one version that I did play a lot over 2022. So she got my number 8 on this one.
She's on my list, and she's high up on my list. But I will say the Club Jumpers Spotify mix, the short mix, is straight to the point. Tim Spinning Shomer, though, he's like, hey, CPR, here's an extended version that I did. So the extended version that you have is a Tim Spinning Shomer extended mix. Which is a testament to him loving the song so much. But for me, the song has Michael Jackson, You Want to Be Starting Something flow to it. If you listen to it, you could listen to the homage in the song. But Brenda K. Starr and those vocals. And we'll talk about it more when it gets to my part of the list. So again, we're counting down our personal top 10 favorites. And we have been really apart on these countdowns. And so we're going to find out if we agree on anything. Let's go with our number 7. Willie Valentin, who's your number 7?
I think I may shock some people with this one also. This is where it got tough for me. Because, I mean, every song I like on this list again. I mean, that, may clarify that. But it got tougher once I kept switching up and down. But Number 7 goes to my good friend Naija with Walk Away.
Nice.
I remember when they sent me that dub mix. I didn't hear the song yet. I just heard the dub mix. Like, oh my god, you know what I'm into is beats and music, and then I got the regular song, and of course I downloaded it. You know, I'm gonna support my friends. Everything here I own. So, right. But my number 7, Naija Walk Away, great record.
So it didn't make my list because again, those are the songs that have legs, right? That song is not going anywhere off my show, and we're not done promoting it. So it isn't that I didn't want to put it on, but I also have to be with my timeline, November to November. So and even though it may have been released in November, I can't say, oh, that's going to be a #1 song, you know, for the entire year, because it still has legs. And it is a personal favorite, but it will definitely be back for 2023 in my list. Cheryl Rodriguez, go ahead.
Number 7, Sharon Massarin, Outside. And specifically the Starlin Vega, the outer space mix, that it was so hot. I love it. Love her. She already knows. I could eat her up. She's so cute. But that song, man, just brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
There are 3 women that come to mind when it comes to freestyle music and releases. But I only think of one person that carried the West Coast by herself for a long time, and that was Sharon Massarin with releases. In our area, I think about Cynthia Figueroa, I think about C-Bank, you know, people that consistently were putting out stuff. You know, Cynthia putting out hit after hit in the East, Sharon putting out albums in the West, and just keeping the genre going. And so Sharon Massarin, I'm listening to her new song "Numb." And what a great track. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
And again, that's a 2023 list, you know, for me, because it goes from November to November. I'm sure if you broke the rules, no one's gonna get you know, scolded. As long as it's all quality music, we're good. Cliff Potts, you're next, sir.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna follow up to Willie's choice, Walk Away. She is not on my list because as I get more proficient in this, I'm following the November to November. But incredible. If I didn't go by the November to November, she'd be on here. And you know, she knows she's one of my favorite. And the song is, to Willie's point, when I heard the dub, I was like, oh.
Yeah, big shout outs going out to Nick Colon, the writer of the song. And congratulations to him. He's gonna be he got engaged, he's gonna be married soon to a significant other. So you know, congratulations to him. He's always a friend. So who do you have, sir?
So my number 7, some may be surprised at this, but he was on my list earlier this year. Actually, most of these songs are. Is All This Misery, Jay Mazur.
Absolutely, the Willie Valentin extended mix.
That's the one. Don't tell him though.
Yeah, I won't tell him. Shh, don't talk to him about remixes. I think it's an excellent choice. You reminded me on how powerful that song is. That song is still being counted for 2022, this year's countdown, and right now we're already halfway done, and that song hasn't been computed and entered into the top 20. So we'll see where it lands. But it was a song that very, very DJ friendly. Willie knows what DJs like, so he implements that, and that's another reason why he got you to do the DJ mix for the Love of My Life. When he contacted me and said, "Hey, you think Cliff will be interested?" I'm like, "Absolutely." And all I had to do was just ask, and you were like, "Yeah."
He said no. He said he's better. No, I'm just kidding. No,
oh yeah. Why not me, Willie? Why not me? But yeah, great choice, Jay Mazur. Looking forward to continue spinning him with George Anthony versus Jay Mazur and Love So Crazy. The song has legs, right? You thought the song was over, and the song is right back. Speaking of that, that's my number 7. I thought George did a good job, and he knows where I rate the song. But when it came to replayability, it was a song that I replayed a lot, and that now in 2022 at the end of the year, where he's gonna pick it up and do something else with it, we're just gonna keep walking and going with it. Let's go with number 6. I will start with Cheryl Rodriguez.
George Anthony, Love So Crazy.
Dun, 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 dun.
Love it.
No speech. She's like number 6. There you go.
Yeah, I know.
Just talked
Great.
about him for like 10 minutes, but yeah, number 6.
I'm the host. I'm supposed to talk about it.
And I went back and forth with that one. Like for a little bit, he was in my top 5, and I had a real range. And I'm really liking where I'm going. So we're good.
Cliff, who do you have, sir?
My number 6 is Secret Admirer, Nora Ivell.
Beautiful.
Do we agree that she's the best new artist, male or female, of 2022?
Who else came? I don't know. You know, I'll be honest. I don't know who else came out this year. So I wouldn't.
And that's the whole point, right? We don't know who else came out because once he was released and you hear my love in a melodic voice, you don't care. It's irrelevant who came out this year because she was just.
Oh, you don't know either. Okay.
Oh, absolutely no, but I don't want. I absolutely listen. I have a list of all the bad songs that came out this year. If you want to talk about
I
them,
didn't say bad song. I said new artist.
Right, new song, new artist, bad song. So when you have a list of people that come out in the year, I have a list, and everyone was not of quality except for Nora Ivell. So she is the best new artist. It's not a default thing. It's because there were at least 10 new artists in 2022, but there were nothing to compare to Nora Ivell's vocals. And I go with that test. If I book her for a show and the sound system goes off, can she sing a cappella? Yes. Can the other ones sing a cappella? No. And we wouldn't want them to. Anyway, who wants to go next? Willie.
You're a little angry there, CPR. Are you okay?
No, I'm sorry.
All right, so this my number 6. I think it's going to shock people. I'm pretty sure it's your top 3, but for me, and it's a great record. Again, this is getting tough for me, and I look at things again a little differently. But Deneen, Out My Body was my number 6. Again, part of my playlist. It's really tough from 7 down for me. But yeah, a great record. I even, and I'm not a house guy, but I liked it even when I heard the house version. So it was a pleasure to remix it. And it was easy to remix because I liked the song so much. So
can I ask you something about the remix? Was it intentional when you put everybody in the house getting tipsy and the song was about her going out with her girls having a good time?
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. It wasn't. No, I was humming that during when I was putting the beat together, and I liked it. And what I do when I vibe, and I go, everybody in the go getting tips. You're like, I wonder if there's an acapella on that. Found it, and I just put it. It felt like a party record. So
I love the writing by Janelle. Excellent writing, excellent party record. It's a freestyle party record, and it was so good. And it's still one of my favorites of 2022. It's on my list, but we haven't gotten to it yet. So my number 6 is the layers and layers of goodness, right? It's Chrissy Ais, the song that she entitled Take Me Away. I'm not fond of giving somebody 8 minutes on my radio show because you can play 3 records, right? But when it comes to this record, I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm playing the entire thing because it's an experience from beginning to end. And it gives you all of that. It gives you Latin percussions, freestyle, hip hop, she's singing, belting out the song. It's just an experience for 7 minutes. And I can't get enough of it. And she had to be on the list at number 6 because she did a phenomenal job, and Mambo Lebron did a phenomenal job in the production. And what great elements to choose from. Even the rap portion of it, because I'm not too fond of people rapping in records. This one, because it was short and sweet and to the point, it kind of grabbed me. Yeah. So are we going to stop right now and check our list, check it twice, check it if they've been naughty or nice?
Good
it
to
gets
go.
tougher and tougher. I'm telling you right now, it's tough.
Did you beat up Speed Racer and take his shirt?
No, it's a Santa shirt, man.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought it was. That was a speed racer shirt.
Being festive, like I tried to be until my cat knocks
I
out.
couldn't get the full picture. I was like, ah.
So
it's
great.
weird.
This video is only good for
It's a
5
V
days.
for Valentin.
This video is only good for 5 days and then it expires, you know. Pretty cool. All right, so we're at the halfway point. Willie Valentin says you have a festive shirt. We're gonna start with your number 5.
So number 5, this record, you know, it's funny, when I first heard it, I liked it, had that old school flavor. I loved, again, the beats, heard the vocals come in, and when I heard Kenny Diaz on it, and I'm like, who's that? You know, he sounded really good. This is Spanish Lullaby, TK TRL. I love that record, you know, and I got to say, not everybody agrees with me. I speak to friends, they like it, but I really liked it. And they were like, it's cool. And I know, I love the record. My wife loved it. We played in the car multiple times. And yeah, that's my number 5. Again, it was very tough to get that.
It's a good choice. And I will say that in the beginning, I wasn't too fond of it either. But after listening to it for an entire year and the song getting 2 different releases with different versions, and they just keep I love it. You know, it's like, hey, we got this version. I put that in there. You know, I like stuff like that. It's like when you purchase a video game and you're getting extra characters if you purchase a downloadable content. Same thing like this. You buy the regular version of Spanish Lullaby, and then in a year you got 13 versions. You know, they release it a couple times with different covers, and it's an experience. So great choice. Didn't make my list, but if it was a top 15, it would absolutely be there. Cheryl.
Yes, sir. Number 5 is Brenda K. Starr, my one and only.
I love it. She's higher on my list. She's coming up, but she's higher on my list.
No, and she's, oh yeah, and she's, I just want to, like, I just melt. Like, I'm like, oh man, I can't take her. She's too much.
Don't do that again. Don't do the oh yeah thing again, because I think you scared the cat.
That's my number.
Ran
No, I had to lock them up so my ornaments don't end up on the ground.
The catastrophe. Cliff.
So we're getting close because my number 5 is Out My Body by Deneen.
Ooh, good.
What
one.
a great, again, the best comeback of 2022 goes to her. And it's because she came back and she duplicated, you know, her quality of music. She came out with Out My Body, and they're like, oh yeah, she's coming out with 1 song. No, we're gonna give you 2. And Last Chance, to me, best remake of 2022. I like it better than George Lamont's I Believe in Love. I love how she's singing it, and it sounds like her voice is gonna break, but it's just because it's part of the note. I can listen to that song, and I'm gonna say this right now on this video, better than the original, in my opinion.
And what makes it even better is that she's such a cool person. She's a great lady. She's a great person, very sweet. You know, we've never met in person. I think, was that the first time you met her also, Cliff and Cheryl, at the show?
Yeah.
Right? It felt like we knew her.
Right.
She was
Yeah.
cool. I actually poked fun at her height. I thought she was taller, and she did. She was such a cool person. It made me like her music more. Made me like her as an artist more. So
she's what we need, right? Because we, you know, your wife can't do it all, right? We need people that have the fans endear themselves to the artist, to have that mystique, but also have that fan-friendly connection. And so I would love to hear a Cynthia Figueroa and Deneen record. Just want to say that, because if they were to go on tour together and perform these songs, the fans are the winners, because when they get to meet these 2 women, right, in person, the same thing that you see on social media is the same thing you see in person. There's no fakeness, you know what I mean? And I just love the fact that we get to have more of those in our community. We need more of those people that want to invite the fans in. She already knows what the boundaries are, and she's already told the community, but she just keeps going, man. And she doesn't listen to negativity either. So I commend them both, and I can't wait to hear the duet, Willie. Thank you.
Yeah, they already talked about it, so we're definitely gonna make that happen. And you know who's gonna be the executive producer, right?
Not me, right? Not
Cliff, you ready?
Cliff, right? I knew Cliff. So my number 5 goes to Gennaro, and I can't decide if I like Those Eyes better than Don't Talk to Me. All I can say is that he wrote some really impactful stuff that it takes you on a journey. Both songs take you on a journey. One is about loss and doing a dedication to someone that passed away in Those Eyes. And then Don't Talk to Me is his experience and how he felt when they treated him like crap as a member of Pain, and how, and includes me too. I always called him Jannetty, right? And so it's a wrestling thing where there's a Shawn Michaels and there's a Marty Jannetty. And now he has proven that he's more of a Shawn Michaels than a Marty Jannetty. You know what I mean? Which means that one person, when it's a Shawn Michaels, one person will go out to be a superstar, and when you're Marty Jannetty, you're not going to be a superstar. You're going to be the person that fades away. And what he has proven is that he is going to stick around, and he has been putting out quality music in the last 3 years. Scars, we talk about Don't Talk to Me and Those Eyes. So I can't choose it. I can't choose one of the songs. I'm not gonna. I just say number 5 belongs to Gennaro, period. And Angel Bender, that NSR remix of Those Eyes. I don't know where he gets the sounds from, but they're captivating. The drums are a little long, right? But that's his style, right? Because another person that can make a 5 to 7 minute mix, and you're like, okay, well, I'll give him the time, because you want to listen to everything that he put into. And if you listen to it with headphones, you listen to all the stuff that he put in there.
Mhm.
So 5 is Gennaro. I can't choose between Those Eyes and Don't Talk to Me. So 5 is Gennaro. Duchess, can you please give us your number 4?
Elissa, Now You're Gone.
One of the best comebacks of 2022. Another friendly person that loves her fans. Another person that can be added. I think that a great concert would be Dreamgirl Cynthia, Deneen, the Princess of Style, Cynthia Figueroa, and Elisa. That would be like the 4 horsewomen of kindness and freestyle, where the fans will benefit from all of them being in the same room together.
That'd be beautiful.
It'll be a beautiful concert.
I can raise the mic for my wife and for the rest of the artists, for Deneen.
Put it all the way down. It'll be like this by height.
Deneen's gonna smack me when she sees me upset.
I'm just a little upset. I didn't get the Cynthia eyelashes. I was trying to put them on for the show, but I didn't get. I get them. Great choice. Great choice. Cliff Potts, to you we go.
My number 4. Hold on, let me switch off my hat to my artistic hat. Oh, wait a minute, I don't have one of those. So the love of my life, Willie Valentin.
Oh man. I had a black artistic hat, and I know what I did with it, and I don't regret it. But I miss having that hat. And what do you have, Willie, for your choice?
For number 4, I think I'm breaking the rule on this one too. I didn't know about, I didn't really pay attention to the rule. I don't read well. So I hope this came out at least by November. I don't know. But Julio Mena, Hits the Soul was my
Yeah. Julio Mena.
I love that beat. I remember he put a snippet and I hit him up right away. And I haven't spoken to Julio in a very long time. Like, I love that track. And he's put out songs, but when something gets me, I'm like, I gotta
when something hits the soul, it hits the soul. You know what I mean?
Wow, that was good.
But he put out All About Us, and he put out Hits the Soul.
Right.
Hits the Soul still has legs, and so I'm not gonna put it on my top 10 of 2022. It'll come back next year, but it's a song that really grew on me, especially when he starts doing this with the hands and in the video, the TikTok video.
That's a lot of videos, huh?
Yeah, a lot of it right now. So number 4 for me is Nora Evell, Secret Admirer. There's something about the lyrics and vocals of that. The story really captivated me, because I'm a big fan of artists who travel to record their music and have a story to tell. So she traveled from, I believe it's Detroit, all the way to Connecticut in a car to record her vocals at Edwin Ramos' studio. Platinum Room Recordings, and I love that story. But
It was
I
a
was like,
U-Haul. I don't think you heard the whole story.
and then the good thing about it is that the finished product is what you celebrate. Because I thought, I'm like, man, I really hope it sounds good. Because people travel to Artie Rodriguez all the time. And a side note, the artists that travel to Artie Rodriguez, they're the biggest pains in the butts in the industry, man. You got to see my inbox. The entitlement. And it's funny because Artie is always giving them good advice, but they don't take it. And so we're going to have to come back and talk about those artists in the next year. But Nora Evelle, the best new artist of 2022. I really hope that she sticks with it because, I know that when we have a freestyle artist that's new, we scare them away, and we had the controversy in Detroit recently, and I just hope that it's not a turnoff for her and that she wants to do more. Also educate herself more in freestyle and learn more about the culture of freestyle. I know her brothers were really into freestyle, and I'm hoping that she wants to carry the torch for the community and continue recording good music because we need new artists of quality. So for me, Nora is number 4. So now we're at our top 3 songs of 2022. Cliff Potts, you have the honors of going first and giving me your number 3.
So I will say that 3, 2, and 1 will probably surprise all of you. But my number 3 is Heaven by C-Bank.
Nice. Nice. You have no argument for me.
Yeah, I mean, Carlos Berrios, the production, the keyboards. If man, I'm a sucker for keyboards, and So that's my number 3.
I got a special edition of that song where people were editing the song. It was like a 25-minute segment, I think.
Yeah.
I was like just listening to it. It was like heaven. Like, oh man, this is so good. So it's a great record, man. C-Bank doesn't disappoint. Another top act and just great person. Cheryl.
Number 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Humble LeBron, Take Me Away.
Can you do the rap part?
Oh, he goes, your love's gonna knock me out like Ali. They got to do a video with him punching her in the face, but like have her look all cute and look over at him, like I can choreograph it in my head. It's great.
You could practice on CPR.
Yeah.
Who says she hasn't? Look at my eye, man. It's just
I knew something was up.
I know. What about you, Willie?
That's funny. If you would ask me this a few months ago, it probably would have been my number 1 record. More than a few minutes. In the summertime, I think it was out in the summertime. It's a record that stuck with me. I feel like I've listened to it all year long, but it's Rigo, even if it's forever. I love that record.
Yeah.
I hate not saying Nelson Rigo, but he was under Rigo that time, right?
Yeah, 418 Freestyle, it was Rego. And I think that you can't go wrong listening to Rego music in 2022. Surrender to Me was just released. That'll be in 2023's countdown. But this year, man, Lose Control, Say That You Will, Just Another Day, Into the Night, and Even If It's Forever. I mean, that's a lot. And an album.
And he makes videos for all the songs. It's like you get to enjoy it. And sometimes for me personally, it makes me love a song more. When I watch the video and love the video, it's like, oh, forget it. And he just
some videos reverse it, makes you hate him after watching.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and even though Nelson didn't make my top 10, I will say Surrender, to me, really shows to me, it's one of his best songs, a maturity, just in the way, melody-wise, and the way he layered his vocals. And also, I think this is one of Jay Allen's best productions. I think it definitely shows his maturity as well.
And that's because I had a great executive producer, and what can I say? But what I will also say about the Nelson Rego is that our team was right not to play him when he came out with all those, bad songs 4 years ago, where everybody was jumping on the Rego bandwagon. And now where he's at his best quality, and not because he's being produced by Jay Allams, it's because he found his niche. He found his writing, he found his production, he found the combination that we wanted him to find, and now he unlocked the doors to all these great songs. And again, check out the album. I was listening to the album today. I'll pull it up right now. It's called Nelson Rego Persistent, which is a great title. It has Broken on there, Into the Night, Say That You Will, Him or Me, remade, brand new. This one's tolerable. The other ones are not, but I would play this one. We Were Meant to Be, Lose Control, It's Your Love, Even If It's Forever, You Look So Good, and then the title track to the album, Adrenaline. And then Diz Me Kazim, which is Say That You Will, in Portuguese, a Portuguese version of it. But I hope that people are now aware that the album is out on digital download and they purchase it because it's worth the money. Willie, your number 3? You already gave it?
I'm just looking at the cover, Persistent and Just Another Day had the same cover.
Yes.
Oh.
Because that was the actual cover to the record, but they also used it for the 418 release of Just Another Day remixes.
Cool. So I'm adding it to my favorites. I like Nelson. Okay. Yeah, that Nelson was my number 3. I said that already. Yeah.
So everybody got to say their number 3. It's my turn. Great. Brenda K. Star, BKS. I want to talk about this record. Man, when Tim Spinning Schomer sent me his version of it, to me, it automatically was my favorite song for that moment, for that month. To this day, I still listen to it. Vocally perfect in my eyes. Just the rendition of the Michael Jackson, You Want to Be Starting Something in the production. I don't know if Tim put that in there or it was something that the Club Jumpers did. Club Jumpers short version is straight and to the point. It's poppy, it's peppy, it's meant to cross over. Just my compliments to the chef. I wish I would have heard a hardcore version of it, like a Valentin remix. I think Willie would have killed it. Something DJ Merc 1 version, he would have made it unique in his way. Julio Mena, soulful version. So many different ways to have this record produced by other people, but Club Jumpers did a great job. Still on the top 10 of our countdown, and it may still have a little lag here and there, but that's my number 3. Brenda K. Star, The Only One I Love, Club Jumpers remix. All right, we're down to the top 2. Are we going to match what we chose at the midpoint of the year? Are we going to stick with our top 2, or are we going to change it, right? So we're going to go to our special guest, Willie Valentin, for his number 2.
I think I'm going to be very much in alignment with Cheryl on this one. But this record here, when I first heard it, I said, this is such a cute vocal. I'm being sarcastic, Cheryl. But Nora Val, Secret Admirer, is my number 2. It was my number 1 for a while. Again, it's just, when I heard it, that little, love, that was just cutesy. And that grabbed me. It's usually a beat that grabs me. This record changed that. This completely came at me a little differently. I like that melody, that little riff or whatever. It just grabbed me. So
great choice.
I rewinded to just the intro, just to listen to that piece, and then I got to love the rest of the record. But yeah,
even the middle of the record, before I lay myself to sleep, using that little, that all worked. It wasn't like it was like, oh, that's corny, I don't want to listen to this. That made me like the song better. And then her vocals, when she's killing it in the different parts of the song, not typical freestyle, right? She kills in the beginning, gives you a twist in the middle, gives you a twist in the end. Just awesome. It was so much candy, I got diabetes. You know what I mean? I need to take my blood, to see where the levels were at. Just a great choice. Best new artist of 2022, male or female category. Nobody can top her this year.
My number 2 was the artistic extended version with Cynthia Figueroa, Willie Valentin's The Love of My Life.
Did she mention my wife's name first? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's what. And granted, this is before I knew he was a part of the live, so I don't want anyone thinking it was biased.
Yeah, we didn't share our list, you know, and like I said, Willie's number 13 on mine. So it isn't like, you know, he paid me anything as he should have been. If he would have been early with the payment, I would have a little higher, but you know, and it goes what it goes. Nobody's paying anymore.
My apologies.
Yeah,
Could have
so
bought you a decent outfit. I mean,
thanks a lot. I bought this. This is extra medium. Cliff, go ahead.
So if we flash back to midway through the year, my 2 and 1 have not changed.
Nice.
And, my number 2, and I CPR, I told you this when you sent over the song. I love this song, and I still do to this day. Probably one of the songs that has, you know, really been almost on every mix the first half of the year is my one and only Billy Ray.
Nice.
Yeah.
I knew that you would stick with that song. I knew you would. For some reason, for you, it's just a different feeling when you talk about the song.
Right.
And I'm glad that somebody from our area was able to impact you in New York, you know, because it shows that good music does travel. And I love celebrating the fact that one of our own is back, you know, and hopefully they'll come back with something else and they'll continue making music, you know, forever. This music, you know, should never, you know, die, you know, as they always say. It should just keep going. So that's great. That's awesome. So it's my turn, right? It's my turn.
Yes, sir.
My number 2 belongs to Deneen.
Hmm?
And again, the best comeback of 2022. I can't pick between her songs. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna, because I don't have to. I'm the host. Out My Body, Party Record, Female Empowerment, Willie Valentin Getting Him Tipsy. That I did not think that she could top that song. When she went into the studio, I'm like, oh man, I hope it's not that situation. You put out a great song and then the follow-up is not as good as the song that you came out with. So it bears a comparison. Man, when I heard Last Chance and I heard that vocal and I heard that production by Jay Adams and whatever Willie, you know, did to it, to just give it that little oomph, and you hear that vocal, and I compared it to the original, and again, better than the original. And yeah, the times have changed. It's a, you know, old record that, you know, maybe was produced with other type of equipment that wasn't as advanced as now. But the production and the vocals and the edits and the percussion of Last Chance, man. Number 2 is Deneen. Love it, love it, love it, and I will continue playing it. Last Chance still has legs, especially with that new remix that they did, a dance remix by
I liked it too.
Freestyle. Yeah, it was fun. It's fun. You know, it's like I'm a strictly freestyle person,
Me too.
but when you get to make me listen to dance music because a freestyle artist did it, like Deneen, like Pure Pleasures, Perfume, you know, those songs, man, you're like, man, this is really good. I wish there was a Perfume freestyle mix and they couldn't have made one. They couldn't make a Perfume freestyle mix. I know Willie tried. It was just not gonna be on sync. It would have been sped up or slowed down. It wouldn't. The timing was off. Ladies first, Cheryl Rodriguez, what is your number 1 favorite song of 2022? And if it's a Cynthia Figueroa record, you got the wrong year.
No, every year, if I could pick, it would be her every year. My number 1 of the entire year is Out My Body, Deneen, artistic extended mix. Although that Jay Adams radio, when she comes to him with the like, I just lose it. Like, insane, absolutely love it. On repeat, 100%. She killed it. And for what it's worth, with The Last Chance, which is equally right up there, but I didn't include it. You know, if I could tie it, maybe I would. But I told her personally, I never liked the original. Personally, and never did nothing for me. When she did this song, she makes me love this song. Like it, I go back and I listen to the other one, and like yourself, I agree. For me, Deneen does it better.
Were you playing the Deneen record right there? I saw that queued up.
That was like perfect timing, right? No, she killed it, and I just love it and her and the entire everything about it. #1 all year.
Willie Valentin, our special guest. Who do you have for #1?
So quick story. I'm going to CPR it right now.
Let me take a nap now.
When I came back from Vietnam, no, I'm just kidding. So this record it's weird for me to say what I'm going to say. So when I first heard it, I didn't like it. I was like, nope, not for me. I stopped playing it in the middle of the first verse. Nothing against the artist. I just didn't like the record. I was like, and what I did is, like, when I started doing my TikTok live show, I added it to my playlist. And then all of a sudden my playlist was in my car and I kept hearing this record. And then, like, every time I created the playlist for the week after, the first record I would pull from my list was this record. And it's C-Bank Heaven. It grew on me. And Nori Vel I kept on saying on my show when I started was, that's the record of the year. Then it changed. Now it's, for me, it's Heaven by C-Bank. The beat is so hot, the music, and it just grabs me. Anytime I hear it, I want to put the music up. So that's my #1 for this year.
You can't go wrong with C-Bank. She's just vocally perfect, as I say. Just an amazing artist. Can't say anything. Wow, that's a great #1. Love it. Cliff Potts.
So, haven't heard this one yet. So, my #1, when that came out, I said, man, it's got that old freestyle feel to it. And man, I still ride it to this day, which is I Believe in Love, Fly Groove featuring George Lamons.
Nice. I'm wondering how many people still remember that record, because at the end of 2021, everybody's like, this is #1 record. I'm like, it's not the #1 record yet.
Yeah.
Did anybody remember Cynthia, Are You Ready for Love, by the way? Anyone? Because of the fact that we tend to, forget songs pretty quickly. So I still can't get over the fact that Monet was hot for like a week. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, what the heck? So freestyle forgets, but I'm glad that you did it, Cliff. The George Lamont, Elizabeth Rivera, my crush, Amanda Panda. She's on that new show on CBS that I gotta watch because she's on it. I love it. I love that song. Great song. And ironically, it didn't make my top 10, but it's just a song that may make the top 10 of 2022 on the CPR's Clubhouse Freestyle Universe Top 40 Freestyle Songs of 2022. 2 parts are out already, 2 more to go. All right, so my #1 never changed, and it didn't change because I thought that this artist did such a great job in this record, and I don't know if it was the sounds or the connection of the sounds and the vocals, but for me, the #1 song for 2022, I'm going to stick with it, is Eric Christian and Poison. Eric Christian, Poison, I'm not sure why I kept this record on my playlist for so long. And then, of course, Kenny Diaz did the Poison to Your Lips remix. But the original version for me is just excellent. And is the best vocals that Eric Christian has ever put out anywhere. And so for Astorga Records to put this out, compliments to the chef, Jay Adams. I keep saying his name. But for me, Poison is my favorite song of 2022. Before we go, one more thing I got to ask you. Who do you think is the producer of the year for 2022?
It's funny. Can I just say something real quick? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut anybody off. But I was just saying I wanted to give shout out to the producers. Carlos Barrios, D. Mike, Julio Mena, Jay Allams, Kenny Diaz, Santana Twins. And who produced the Joe Zangi record? That's Luis Marte and
DJ Merc One.
Yeah, Merc One. They did it together, right?
I believe so.
For them all. So the great thing is you heard all that variety, right? There's a lot of producers putting out good music, and that's great. I'm so happy about that because, one person can do it, 2 people can do it, right? You want you want variety, you want a different feel. Mm-hmm. I think it also gets everyone to up their game as far as producers. I know I get motivated when I hear a good track, good production. I heard one today. I can't wait to stop recording so I can tell you guys that just hyped me up even more. to
My
produce
brother, if you release that,
our-
it's over, Prime.
It's a done deal. We got this.
Oh man, we're gonna talk about it now off camera. The announcement will be coming up soon. Hopefully, you know, we'll get all the info from Willie. But that about wraps it up for CPR's Clubhouse Live, the top 10.
I didn't answer the question. The producer of the year, Cheryl.
I think that we don't have to answer the question. I think that I think that we don't have to answer the question because of the fact that you wrapped it up in a bowl very nicely, and that is a collective celebration of producers who are putting out quality freestyle content, which is all that we can ask for. There are some that are doing it more than others, but the fact is that, you know, Santana Twins mean as much as J Allums, as Willie Valentin means as much as what Merc One is doing. The meaning of putting out good quality freestyle content, putting out your art, you know. So
Yep.
I won't want that question answered, just as a respect to all the producers that put out great quality freestyle content in 2022. So until next time, for the Vinyl Assassin, DJ Cliff Potts, the Duchess Cheryl Rodriguez, of course, my brother Willie Valentin. Don't tell anybody. Yeah, okay, great. So he's the only one that can bust my chops like this. Hug the phone right now. I tell him that all the time before we hang up. Hug the phone. Really? Okay, all right. Until next time, at CPR saying goodbye, and remember,
Oh God! And
It's not who you love, it's how.
Thank you for completing that for me. I appreciate it. Until next time, it's CPR saying goodbye. And remember to check out CPRsClubhouse.com and CPRsmusic.com for all the links to our shows on the CPR's Clubhouse Freestyle Universe. Talk to you soon.
See ya.